What does it take for a billionaire to find true happiness? For Michael Sanders, a man who had it all, mansions, luxury cars, and a global empire, the answer wasn't in his bank account. It was in a faith he never expected to embrace. This is the story of how one of America's most successful entrepreneurs found peace, purpose, and a new direction in life through Islam. Michael Sanders was the epitome of the American dream. Born into a wealthy family in New York City, he built a billion-dollar tech empire from the ground up. By all accounts, he had everything: wealth, power, and influence. But beneath the surface of his glittering success, Michael felt a deep emptiness. Despite his achievements, he was plagued by a sense of isolation and dissatisfaction. "I had everything the world said I should want," Michael recalls, "but I felt like something was missing. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I had to find it." This is the story of his search for meaning, a journey that led him to Islam. The emptiness of success. Michael's life was a whirlwind of board meetings, charity galas, and luxury vacations. But no matter how much he achieved, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. "I'd wake up in my penthouse, look at my bank account, and feel nothing," he says. "I thought success would bring me happiness, but it didn't. I was lost." This emptiness drove Michael to explore spirituality. He read books on Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Judaism, searching for answers, but none of them resonated with him. A fateful meeting. Everything changed one night at a charity event. Michael met Ahmad, a Muslim businessman known for his philanthropy and deep faith. Ahmad was different, Michael recalls. He spoke about life with such clarity and peace. He talked about Islam in a way I'd never heard before. Ahmad introduced Michael to the concept of tawakkul, trusting in God's plan. He also spoke about dhikr, the practice of remembering God in every moment. "It was like a light bulb went off," Michael says. "I realized that my emptiness came from trying to control everything. I needed to let go and trust in something greater." The journey to Islam. Inspired by Ahmad, Michael began to study Islam. He read the Quran, attended lectures, and even visited a mosque for the first time. "Walking into that mosque was a turning point," he says. "I felt a sense of peace I'd never experienced before. It was like coming home." But embracing Islam wasn't easy. Michael struggled with doubts and fears. How would his family react? What would his business partners think? "I was afraid of losing everything," he admits. "But I knew I couldn't keep living a lie. I had to follow my heart." The Shahada, a new beginning. One night, after months of soul-searching, Michael made the decision to convert to Islam. He recited the Shahada, the declaration of faith, in the presence of close friends. "It was the most profound moment of my life," he says. "I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. For the first time, I felt truly free." Michael chose the name Musa, after the prophet Moses, as a symbol of his transformation. A new perspective on wealth. After converting to Islam, Musa's relationship with money changed dramatically. "I used to see wealth as a measure of success," he says. "But Islam taught me that true success is about how you use your blessings to help others." Musa began to focus on philanthropy, using his wealth to support education, healthcare, and social justice initiatives. "I realized that my purpose wasn't to accumulate wealth, but to make a difference in the world," he says. Challenges and criticism. Musa's decision to embrace Islam wasn't without challenges. He faced criticism from colleagues, skepticism from friends, and even backlash from the media. "Some people thought I'd lost my mind," he says, "but I knew I was on the right path. I didn't need their approval." Despite the criticism, Musa remained steadfast in his faith. He used his platform to educate others about Islam, dispelling myths and promoting understanding. The power of community. One of the most transformative aspects of Musa's journey was the sense of community he found in Islam. "The brotherhood I experienced in the mosque was unlike anything I'd ever known," he says. "It didn't matter where you came from or how much money you had. We were all equal in the eyes of God." This sense of belonging gave Musa the strength to navigate the challenges of his new life. Balancing faith and business. As a billionaire and a Muslim, Musa faced unique challenges in balancing his faith with his business responsibilities. "I had to rethink everything, from my business practices to my leadership style," he says. "Islam taught me the importance of integrity, honesty, and fairness." Musa implemented ethical guidelines in his companies, ensuring that they aligned with Islamic principles. It wasn't always easy, he admits, but I knew I had to lead by example. A voice for change. Musa's journey inspired him to become an advocate for social justice. He used his influence to address issues like poverty, inequality, and discrimination. Islam taught me that we have a responsibility to stand up for what's right, he says. I couldn't stay silent anymore. Michael Sanders' journey from billionaire to believer is a testament to the transformative power of faith. It's a reminder that true success isn't measured by wealth or status, but by the impact we have on the world and the peace we find within ourselves. As Michael left the mosque, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The encounter with Ahmad had not only enriched his understanding of Islam, but had also ignited a spark within him to explore his own spirituality further. The beautiful mosque, the serene environment, and the heartfelt conversation had left an indelible mark on his soul. Dubai, with its blend of modernity and tradition, had given Michael more than just a business trip. It had given him a moment of introspection, a chance to connect with his inner self, and a new friend in Ahmad. As he looked out at the cityscape from his hotel room that evening, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the unexpected turn his life had taken. That night, Michael wrote in his journal, capturing the day's events and the profound impact they had on him. He knew that this was just the beginning of a new journey, one that would lead him to explore deeper aspects of his spirituality and perhaps find the inner peace he had been yearning for. Section 4. A Glimmer of Hope, Discovering Islam. Ahmad's words sparked a new curiosity in Michael. It was as if a door had been opened, revealing a path he had never considered before. Ahmad spoke with such conviction and peace that Michael couldn't help but be intrigued. He began reading the Quran, the holy book of Islam. Each verse seemed to speak directly to his heart, offering wisdom and guidance that felt both ancient and timeless. He was struck by its message of peace, justice, and compassion. The Quran's teachings on the importance of kindness, fairness, and empathy resonated deeply with him. The more he learned about Islam, the more he felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. It was as if he had found a missing piece of himself, a piece that had been lost for so long. The teachings of Islam resonated deeply with his own values. He found that the principles of honesty, integrity, and respect for others were not just ideals but practical guidelines for living a meaningful life. The emphasis on charity, humility, and social responsibility appealed to his desire to make a difference in the world. He saw in Islam a way to channel his efforts towards helping those in need and making a positive impact on society. He was particularly drawn to the concept of one God, a unifying force that transcended all boundaries. This idea of a single, all-encompassing deity brought him a sense of unity and purpose. The idea of submitting to a higher power, of finding strength in humility, brought him a sense of peace he had been longing for. It was a peace that came from knowing he was part of something greater than himself. He started attending prayers at the mosque, finding solace in the rhythmic cadence of the verses and the sense of community he felt among fellow Muslims. The mosque became a sanctuary, a place where he could connect with others who shared his newfound faith. For the first time in his life, he felt a connection to something greater than himself. This connection gave him a sense of direction and purpose, guiding him towards a life of meaning and fulfillment. Michael's journey of discovering Islam was not just about finding a new religion, it was about finding himself and his place in the world. Through his conversations with Ahmad and his experiences at the mosque, Michael began to see the world through a different lens. He realized that Islam was not just a set of beliefs, but a way of life, one that emphasized compassion, community, and a deep connection to the divine. He found joy in the simple acts of kindness and generosity that were encouraged by his new faith. Sharing a meal with new friends at the mosque, participating in group discussions, and volunteering for community events became sources of joy and fulfillment. As Michael continued his journey, he felt a profound transformation within himself. He was no longer the same person he had been before. He had found a new sense of hope, a new sense of purpose, and a new sense of belonging. Discovering Islam had opened his heart and mind to a world of possibilities, and he was eager to embrace this new chapter of his life with open arms. Section 5. The Inner Struggle, Faith versus Logic. Michael's journey to Islam was not without its challenges. As a man of logic and reason, he grappled with the spiritual concepts of faith and destiny. He questioned, he pondered, he sought answers. He spent hours in conversation with Ahmad, discussing his doubts and seeking clarification on intricate aspects of Islamic theology. His analytical mind dissected every concept, every verse, every teaching, trying to reconcile his newfound faith with his rational worldview. He also faced skepticism from his friends and colleagues, who struggled to understand his sudden interest in a religion often misrepresented in the media. Their doubts, however, only strengthened his resolve. He saw an opportunity to challenge stereotypes and bridge the gap between cultures. He realized that true faith required understanding, acceptance, and a willingness to look beyond preconceived notions. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep seeking the truth.